to 10 to 9. We've been talking all morning, haven't we, about 80s film classic Back to the Future coming to the stage. Dan is outside with a time-travelling DeLorean, but before we see him, here's a quick look at a classic scene from the film.
What's this? What's this? What did I tell you? 88 miles per hour!
So many of you love the film. I think one of the biggest fans is actually sitting in a DeLorean. Dan, what's going on? Morning.
Good morning, Louise. Hello, everybody. I'm channeling my inner Marty McFly. I've got the BBC Breakfast gilet on, sadly not red for those who are Back to the Future aficionados. But here we are in the DeLorean. You can see the flux capacitor, the all-important flux capacitor that gets us to 88 miles per hour and then takes us wherever we need to go. And if you come in as well, you can see the all-important date, last time departed, November the 5th, 1955, and the present times, you can see that, obviously May the 21st. One issue with the DeLorean is it's made for somebody who is a maximum of 6'3", apparently, so which is why I can't get both my legs in and why my exit will be probably the most awkward exit from a car ever. Thank you, made it out successfully. Let me introduce you to our two guests today, because we've got the man who originally wrote Back to the Future, Bob Gale. Bob, thank you very much for coming on BBC Breakfast. And Ollie Dobson, who's playing Marty McFly in the musical version. Because, Bob, for many years people have said, when's another Back to the Future film going to come out? That's not going to happen, but you are taking it to the stage.
We're taking it to the stage. It's a way to give people more Back to the Future in a new way, to do some new things with Back to the Future that we couldn't do in the movie, to look back on Back to the Future and celebrate it. And we've got 14 or 15 new songs, your favorite old songs as well. We've got this fantastic Marty McFly over here and a terrific cast and director. It's going to be great.
And Ollie, playing an iconic character like Marty McFly, that must bring with it a little bit of pressure.
There's a tad bit of pressure, but there's also like an expectation, you know? So, yeah, I'm thriving under the pressure, but people are going to expect certain elements from the film, and I'm looking forward to paying homage to that. You know, Michael J. Fox has created like you said, an iconic character, and I'm looking forward to taking the reins, really.
Bob was saying about some new music. There's also some classics. Huey Lewis and the News. This is Ollie. It shows you that he's the right man for the job. This is Ollie singing an absolute Back to the Future classic, The Power of Love. Have a little look in rehearsals.
Don't need money, don't take fame, don't need no credit card to ride this train. It's strong and it's sudden and it's cruel sometimes, but it might just save your life. That's the power of love. That's the power of love. First time you feel it, it might make you sad. Next time you feel it, it might all make you mad. But you'll be glad, baby, when you found that's the power makes the world go round.
So there's confirmation that Ollie can certainly sing in his role of Marty McFly in the forthcoming musical of Back to the Future. Bob, give us your memories, really, of getting the film made in the first place, because it wasn't straightforward, was it?
It was not straightforward. Bob Zemeckis and I developed the film in 1980. I had gone to the same high school my dad had gone, and found his high school yearbook and discovered he'd been the president of his graduating class, which was a shock. And I said, "Ooh, I hated the president of my graduating class. Would I have liked my father in high school?" And that was the lightning bolt that struck me, say, there's a time travel movie here. And after we wrote the script, it had been rejected over 40 times by every studio.
Wow.
Sometimes 2 or 3 times. But finally, with perseverance, if you put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything. We got it made, and who would have thought that here we are almost 35 years after the release of the first movie, and people are still loving Back to the Future, and Back to the Future is a musical, and it is a great musical.
People love it as much as ever. Excellent reference to a lightning bolt as well, which of course is crucial to the whole sort of story of Back to the Future. How different, Ollie, will it then be? I mean, you talk about some new music. Is it sort of being reimagined on the stage?
Yes, it is, completely. You know, we're trying to translate it from screen to stage. You know, we're having to rejig some things because, you know, it literally just doesn't, sometimes just doesn't work. You know, you can't be in a family bedroom, and the next thing you can't be, you know, in the town square. It just doesn't work. But, you know, we're recreating it, like you said, reimagining it, and it is one hell of a ride at the moment, you know.
And in terms of timings, just to let you know, it's going to be on stage at Manchester Opera House from February next year, and then it's going to move to London as well. If you're a lover of Back to the Future, that all three films, is this the sort of thing that sort of just add to the experience of your desire to be immersed in that sort of universe?
Absolutely. And what's great about coming back to the Future now, in the first movie, we look back on the 50s with some interesting social observations that are funny. Now we also get to look back at the 80s and do the same thing. So that gives us a whole extra level of fun and satire and laughs. And as I say, it's not everything that you remember from the movie. It's not going to be on the show, but there's going to be a whole lot of new stuff. So if you go to the theater thinking you're going to see a slavish adaptation of the original movie, no, that's not what it's going to be. You can always watch the movie for that. But the fans are going to say, I see some of my favorite moments, and I see all this new stuff, and it'll have a new life.
I'm getting told we're running out of time, but we've got a time machine. We can do whatever we like. Bob, do you want to go and sit in the passenger seat in there? Because this DeLorean actually is the only one in the world that's signed by Steven Spielberg, by Bob Zemeckis, and by various members of the cast. And Bob, if you could finish things off.
I signed this in 2008, and as we can see, the signature's fading a little bit, so I've been asked to darken my signature here, which we have the technology to do that, and I'm going to do that.
The re-signing of the DeLorean by Bob Gale, who wrote the original Back to the Future. Bob, it's time for me to say, let's make like a tree and get out of here.
It's leave, Dan. Make like a tree and leave. You sound like a dork when you do it wrong.
Thank you, Bob. That is literally the highlight of my entire life. February 2020, the musical Back to the Future in Manchester, and then moving to London. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Ollie. And that's it.
BackToTheFutureMusical.com for all the information you want. Tickets go on sale Friday, and we'll be in Albert Square at noon. For anybody seeing this and wants to be with the DeLorean, come on over to Albert Square at noon, and it'll be great.
Bob, that's the finest plug in history. Right, we're off. 88 miles per hour. What year do you want to go to?
Well, we'll jump ahead to February 20th, 2020. And
right. The plug it's too good. The plug continues. Thank you very much, Bob. Ollie, see you later.
Lots of people coming out to look at it as well. Dan, thank you very much. Thank you. He'll be back here shortly.